Hello again, friends. Welcome to our mini crosswalk. I am so happy to have you with me again. In our radio broadcast and our YouTube broadcast from church, we heard the story of Jesus saying, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." And before that, his friend Thomas said, "We don't know how to go where you're going, Jesus. We don't have a map. We don't know how to get there." And so I have a book today to share with you that I think might help us figure out how to follow the way that Jesus leads us. So it's called "I Miss My Grandpa." I've never met my grandpa. He died before I was born. But still, I have always felt that he's here with me. I want to know everything about him, so I like to ask my grandma, "What did Grandpa look like?" Grandma answers, "Your youngest Uncle Mason has a face shaped most like your grandpa's." Uncle Mason says, "Your grandpa's face is very far away like the moon in my memory, although sometimes I still dream about him." Grandma says, "Your middle uncle Chang Zi has your grandpa's eyes." Uncle Chang Zi says, "When your grandpa looked at the world, he was quiet and patient like a crocodile. When he closed his eyes, his imagination sparked." Grandma says, "Your eldest Uncle Leo has a nose passed down from your grandpa." Oh, look at that nose. Uncle Leo says, "By always learning, trying, and practicing, your grandpa knew when to water the soil, when to fertilize the soil, and when to plant in the soil, just by smelling the soil." My grandma says, "Your Aunt Zizi has a mouth most like your grandpa's." My Aunt Zizi says, "Your grandpa told us stories night to night. In his stories, he had a dove's voice, a duck's voice, lion's voice, lamb's voice, cloud's voice, wind's voice, sunrise's voice, sunset's voice, and countless other voices." Grandma says, "Your eldest cousin Aiden has ears like your grandpa. When he listens, he doesn't talk. He can hear the silence lying between and underneath many sounds." My cousin Aiden says nothing. He just listens. Grandma says, "Your mom inherited your grandpa's hair." My mom says, "Your grandpa's hair was really curly like a nest. Birds even came to stay in it one winter." Does Grandpa look like this? Does he look like this? Those are good drawings. I miss my grandpa, even though I've never met him. Grandma says, "You can meet him in your heart. He is still living within us who love him." You know, sometimes it's hard when we hear stories about Jesus because we never got to see Jesus when he was walking around on the earth. And so, kind of like the girl in the story, we might wonder, what did Jesus look like? How can we follow Jesus when we can't see him? And just like all those family members, we all have a piece of Jesus in us. We all look a little bit like Jesus. We all act a little bit like Jesus. And so we can see Jesus in each other and the way we care for each other, the way we love each other, all sorts of different ways. And that helps us to keep following Jesus, to keep following the way that Jesus sends us on. So I have two small activities. One is, it's called Karen. And it's it's a cool thing that you can build with rocks. So you'll have to go out, take a walk, find some rocks that you can stack up into a pile with the biggest on the bottom and then going up to the smallest. And then you have to try to balance them to get them to stay. But it's a way that people who hike in the wilderness use to mark a trail. And I think it would be really cool if you could build a cairn at your house, maybe even glue it together, moms and dads, with a hot glue gun. And then when you see Jesus in one of your family members and something they did or something they said, you can place that cairn on their dresser or at their place at the dinner table or in their favorite living room chair to let them know that you saw Jesus in them and that you're marking that spot as a place where they say Jesus, love, and care. The other activity I have is for you to draw your family and to draw the ways that you see God in your family and your friends and the people around you. And when you get lonely or sad or you wonder where Jesus is, pull that out and see what you've collected, what stories you've collected, what attributes and characteristics you've collected in your family and in your friends and in your community so that you can remember where Jesus is now. Thanks for joining me, friends. We'll do this all through the month of May, and then we'll take a break for summer. I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.